Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video about the Murray series lawnmower with the Briggs Powerbuilt 12.0 horsepower dependable motor. So far we did get it to turn over, but it didn't completely start. As you know, as I got most of it put back together, I got the cover, the new filter in, the carburetor, spark plug, the top on, and everything. And for some reason, every time I turn the key, it will click. Like watch. See? It makes that noise. And it sounds like it's coming from the starter. I was thinking the engine was seized, but if it spins for like 3 to 5 seconds, then stops, something's making it where it's not turning over. So I actually came over here this morning, took the brand new solenoid off, took some paint off of it with the grinder, and cleaned it up really good, put it back in, and acts like it wanted to turn over. But now it sounds like this thing is dragging here. I took the cover off thinking that maybe the cover was on crooked. I thought it was dragging, it wasn't. And I do notice that this engine does have an oil leak. It leaks right down there. Like, takes like almost a whole day for it to like be full down there. But I don't know if this thing was full of oil or not. I tried taking the drain plug out, but it seems to be stripped. So I don't know what's going on unless the crankcase seal is actually leaking. It's the only thing I could be thinking of. So I took a tool with a 1/2 inch drive and I turned it the same exact way that the motor spins, and it does make a squeaking sound in the inside. So I put oil in it, then circulated it. It's getting a little looser, but the squeaking seems not to go away. But if I do it backwards, you don't hear any squeaking. I don't think that's normal. Depending on how long it's been sitting, it might have been dry on oil. But if it's turning, then it sounds like to me that the starters could be bad, because I even replaced it with a brand new solenoid, cleaned the ground really good. It's doing the same thing. I even took the old wire off, replaced it with 2 brand new terminals. Still does the same thing. Put the old terminals back on. Still did the same thing with the clicking. I even tried cleaning up these plugs. I checked the relay was good. The fuse has not been blown. It's still full of oil. It has gasoline in it, and it still does the same thing. Now, I'm going to show y'all what I actually used to try to crank this thing. To spin it, actually, I used a 24 millimeter on a 1/2 inch drive to test it, see if it was spinning freely. And it was. I even did it from the bottom. It's weird because the bottom bolt's not accessible with these type of tools. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, watch. Hear how it's squeaking? Then it stops squeaking. And it does it when you get around to that 1/2 a turn. But when I look down here, it's actually turning. But it squeaks. So I'm assuming this thing must have been seized. But if I do it this way, see, it doesn't squeak when you go lefty-loosey. So I'm thinking that maybe there's not enough oil getting in right now. Maybe it's just so damn dry. Maybe I got to keep on spinning it. But this morning when I tried to crank it, it did a 1/2 a turn. The motor did, like it wanted to start, but then it quit. So my next step is, the only thing I could think of is the starter or the ignition coil. I tried taking the spark plug out, taking this off with it and hit it against the motor. Still wouldn't do anything. I'm just thinking that maybe this thing's not getting spark. But I mean, I even switched to the old coil and everything, reversed everything back. Even with the clean ground, even with the new one, does the same exact thing. But it acts like it wants to start more than it did. So I don't know what the issue could be. Maybe because due to the oil leak, maybe it's not lubricating enough, or maybe it's something electrical. I'm thinking something electrical, so I'm running out of ideas on what to actually do here. Like I said, we're new to this lawnmower. I might put another motor in it because I can get them pretty cheap. If y'all have any questions, y'all may feel free to comment. There might be another video once I can get this thing completely up and running, but I thought I'd keep y'all up to date on what I've actually did. I hope this video helps, and have a great one.